We're here at SHOT Show 2025, and Monday at Range Day I had a chance to shoot some of these really cool stuff, and one of the things that I thought was the coolest things I saw at Range Day was these new carbon fiber, I say new, they're new to me, carbon fiber suppressors, and they are not only like super light, but they're also, they don't get hot, nearly as hot on the exterior as a regular suppressor. So we're here with Wade, the president, owner, founder of the chief cooking bottle washer at Carbon Research, and we're going to take a look at these suppressors, a little bit of background on the suppressors and kind of what's so cool about them coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, coverage of the 2025 SHOT Show. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me, and I'm here with Wade from Carbon Research to talk about his suppressors and why they're so cool. So Wade, thanks for taking time out of the busy show here to talk to us. So,
yeah, thanks, Brian.
So tell us a little bit about your company and your products.
So Carbon Research, we started 8 years ago with some challenges, and we spent about 6 years in R&D.
Wow.
Before we started selling them. We wanted to make them durable enough, quiet enough, and it took that long to work out all the kinks. I mean, in those 6 years of R&D, we would design, we would build, we would test, and then we would destroy. And we did that for 6 years, and we finally released our product. For instance, the 9mm, when we were able to get 10,000 rounds through it, cut it in half, and see no degradation, that's when we were ready for market.
So you took your time to get it right.
Oh, for sure.
So what's the primary advantage of carbon fiber?
All right, so obviously it's very lightweight stuff. I mean, our 22 starts at just over 2 ounces. I mean, and you know, the reason we met at the range is because we knew that if we just showed this kind of device at that kind of weight, most people would think that it's an airsoft, it was a toy.
Yeah.
But it's the real deal.
That is...
and it's very durable.
Like a feather light, literally.
So super lightweight, we know that about carbon, and that's really across the board, whether it's our little cans for 22 or the bigger ones for the bigger calibers. We're all aware of the lightweight benefits, right?
Right.
But the one other, well, there's actually 2 other things, but a big thing is heat. And heat has always been a challenge for suppressors because, you know, all that stuff is burning and the pressure and metal is a thermal conductor.
Right.
But carbon fiber is a thermal insulator. So it doesn't heat up quite as fast. And then because they're very lightweight, they don't have the mass to store that energy, and so they cool down faster. So it's really cool stuff.
Yeah, it
in
is,
the true sense of the word.
Right.
So in our shop we have an old MP5 full auto, and we can run 60 rounds, so 2 full magazines, full auto, and then hold the weapon up by the suppressor. Now it's hot, but it's not so hot that it's going to leave your skin on the
Which, from a performance standpoint, means that you're not going to get that haze.
Correct. The mirage
effect from the heat rise and heat wave rise, which is a big deal if you're shooting long range or shooting
absolutely
a lot, you know?
Absolutely. And so there's been an outpouring of interest for you know, people who are precision shooters, for sure.
So what's the largest caliber that you make a suppressor for?
So right now we introduced our big bore, we call it, which is a 1/2-inch diameter bore. We can run things up to 4.58 SOCOM.
Wow.
You know, heavier rounds, and we are testing basically this suppressor with the added blast chamber right there. For a 308. And we wanted to have that for this show, but we kind of got sidetracked with some other things. But We will release that when we can get 1,000 rounds through it, cut it in half, and see no degradation, and that's when we'll release it. And we're pretty confident we'll be there, but that should be coming up.
So you showed me something I think would be cool if we could do this. Kind of the difference in not just the difference in weight and heat, but the difference in sound, kind of a different sound.
Exactly. Well, I equate it to the chimes, metal versus wood. The carbon is a thud. Now, suppressors, they don't work exactly like a chime, obviously.
Sure.
We're playing with the gas, and basically tricking the gas to get the projectile out sooner so it doesn't pop. But there's still energy coming through. And there are harmonics, we believe, that are associated with that. Yeah. To the ear, we know they just sound really good.
They do.
More of like a thud than a ching.
Yeah, so a little less of that sharpness to it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Now I don't have the equipment to determine that. We just have a decibel meter, and we know what we're shooting. Some of our full 22, we're getting upwards of 40 decibel improvements.
Well, the equipment I have is right here, and I can definitely tell the difference.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
So that's that's pretty cool. So, and then I want to show you got this kit here, which is really cool that's for your 9, right?
So the 9, we have the cutaway in here.
Oh yeah.
And this is actually how the kit would come.
But it wouldn't be cut away, by the way.
Correct. This is one of those aerated suppressors.
Yeah.
But you can see that it's not just a carbon wrap or a carbon tube. The baffles themselves are made out of carbon. And then they have a little titanium tip that protects the carbon from the blast. And we have both carbon and Kevlar in there, all good stuff, and it's a proprietary resin that's good to 800 degrees.
That's cool.
All right, so it'll take you quite a ways.
So, how often should these things be cleaned, if at all, do you think?
Well, in our instructions, we say every couple of 1,000 rounds. We do that really because that's what everybody recommends. The reality is, in that 6 years of R&D, we still do it to this day, where we cut devices in half after they've been used. I can tell you that they don't foul as much as people think.
Right.
All right. The carbon fiber may help in that also. The carbon is a very hard material. Some of the 3D printed stuff, the metal is more of a matte finish. Yeah. Doesn't have a sheen to it. Yeah. And so maybe the carbon is attracted to that better.
It sticks better.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sort of sticks better. But they do not foul really as much as people think.
So if you did need to clean it, you use ultrasonic or
that's what we do.
Yeah.
We throw stuff in an ultrasonic.
Cool. So this is really cool. I could not show you this because every year people ask me, what's the coolest thing you've seen at the SHOT Show? And so far, this is one of the coolest things I've seen because I like cans. I think everybody should have them, and I think they should be. Well, we won't get into the whole NFA thing.
Well, you know, Brian, a lot of people are spending a lot of money on real lightweight kits that are carbon fiber. They're putting carbon fiber furniture on.
Carbon fiber barrels now?
Carbon fiber everything.
Yeah.
And then they'll put a heavy suppressor in the worst possible spot, all the way at the end of the weapon.
Yeah.
Right? And weight, any type of weight, you want it back into the core.
Yeah, I agree.
As close to the core as possible. And when you put a heavy suppressor on the end of a rifle, you're really making life.
Well, it's like I said, I saw a rifle manufacturer. We won't talk about them here, but they're good, a well-known brand. And they created a rifle specifically to be suppressed, and so they put carbon fiber barrel, carbon fiber everything to basically compensate for the weight of the suppressor. If you put one of these suckers on there, then you got a really lightweight rifle, right?
Exactly. The lighter, the better. In my book.
If you're carrying it, it sure is.
For sure.
Well, great, Wade. Thanks so much for taking a minute to talk to us.
Yeah, pleasure.
And thank you for watching Survival on Purpose coverage of the 2025 SHOT Show. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. See you